الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. A man from amongst the Salaf went to visit his brother. When he got there, his brother conveyed namima to him about a friend of his. In other words, he spoke about one of his friends. So this angered and annoyed this pious predecessor. It really made him annoyed. Because naturally when we hear namima, backbiting, slandering, ghiba, we get annoyed as a believer. Every true believer understands this and recognizes this. If you have true faith in your heart and you hear someone speaking about someone else, regardless if it's true or not, you feel that distaste in your heart. So this Salaf, as-Salih, when he heard this from his brother, he said, "My brother, you have just made Allah ghiba, Allah namima, and you have caused me 3 offenses. Number 1, you have made me dislike my brother, the one that you're talking about. And I love that brother. I know him very well, he's my friend. But now you made me dislike him. Number 2, you've made me think about what you said. I didn't want to know about that. And number 3, you've made me suspect your honesty. Although you could be righteous, pious, when you speak about someone else, you are immediately black spotted. You could be a liar, you could be truthful. But a true believer is not one who carries namima, even if it's correct. Even if it's the person you're talking to, it was spoken against him. Wallahi, as the scholars have said, silence is a man's best friend. And that's haqq. Silence is man's best friend. A man came to Wahab ibn Munabbih, and he was one of the tabi'in, the great tabi'in. He's known, powerful individual. And he said to him, "Yeah, Wahab, someone has spoken bad about you. There's evil talk about you. Such and such is spreading this about you." Listen to the profound response by this great Salaf. He didn't respond and say, "What is he saying? How dare is he saying that? Why is he saying that? Let us go and get the boys and do something." No. This is not the attitude of the righteous forebears, of the generations of righteousness. They didn't sort of go into things where they want to know why. They didn't bother themselves in rebuking individuals who do not deserve to be rebuked. What did he say to the person that spoke to him? Who's telling him that someone is speaking about you? He said, "Did not the devil find a messenger other than you?" SubhanAllah. You know, why are you telling me this? Why are you doing the devil's work? You are the messenger for the devil, for shaitan. Why are you telling me this for? Let it go. Has it benefited me? No. Is it increasing my faith? No. Am I in need of listening to this? No. Let it go. That's namima. It's ghiba. A man came to another man from among the Salaf again. And he said, "Someone is speaking bad about you." And this Salafi got very, very angry and said to him, "SubhanAllah, my brother," he said to this person, "the person who slandered me threw an arrow at me." Listen carefully to this beautiful statement. "The one who spoke about me threw an arrow at me, but it did not reach me. So why in the world did you carry this arrow and allow it to penetrate my heart?" And did you carry it? It did not reach me. It did not penetrate me. I wasn't affected. It was unknown to me. So why did you hurt me for? Why did you stab me with this arrow? A man came to the great Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala and said that someone has spoken bad about you. And he said to this individual, because if what you are saying is correct, then you are an imam. You are a slanderer. And if what you are saying is not, it's wrong, is a lie, then you are a fasiq, a flagrant sinner, a wicked, evil person. And this man that told him this felt embarrassed. And he walked away. This is the attitude of the pious predecessors. They did not want people coming to them and telling them what people say about them. They did not like this. They did not need this. Their life was built on perfecting their worships and assisting and helping people to Allah. So the more you tell them about people saying this or saying that about you, it hurts them, it affects them. How? Because when they meet these people, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be harmful to their hearts. They're not going to look at these individuals the correct way or the way they would like to look at them, with happiness and comfort. Even our teacher, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our companion once came to him, authentic narration, and he said, Ya Rasulullah, there are words spoken out there about you by such and such person. He asked him one question, is it good or bad? He goes, no, Ya Rasulullah, it's not good. Just don't tell me, I don't want to know about it. For indeed I want to leave my home while I have comfort in my heart towards all of my companions. I do not want to have anything, not a grudge, or not any ill feeling towards any of them. What do we learn from all this? There's no need to carry tales. There's no need for rumor mongers. Tale bearing is extremely evil, as the hadith says. It is enough for a man to narrate, to relay everything that he hears to be one of the liars as well. You become a liar. You become the slanderer, worse than the one that committed originally. And today you have brothers, for example, doing this. Sheikh, someone's saying this, Sheikh, is that okay? Very good. As long as it's not, the arrow hasn't reached my heart, what are you saying it to me for? I don't want to know about it. There's no need for it. It hurts. We're human beings. We're not made out of steel and rock. We're made out of the weakest things. Flesh and bones. You fall down, you can't walk again for probably enough. We're weak individuals in our nature. So there's no need to carry, you guys, all of you. You are daddies. You are callers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Recognize the importance of this. Don't let the devil work on you, and everything that you hear, you go and relate it to those that were spoken against or amongst each other. There's no need for this. That's namina, even if you are correct. It's haram. As the narration mentions, he said to his companions, shall I not inform you of the wickedness amongst you? They said, yes, Ya Rasulullah. He said, they are those who go around gossiping and causing enmity and hatred among those who love each other. They are the wickedest amongst us. Even if what you are saying is correct, there's no need for it. Don't hurt each other. Now the problem that we have today is, you have masajid and marakis who are warning their followers not to go to that masjid or to that markaz. That is a devilish, wallahi, institution. Devilish. Doesn't matter how much da'wah in that place there is. If you warn others from going to a place of worship based on what you believe, on your opinion, then you are committing major sin. The only time you can do this if there's a reason, like a place where there's innovations, where other than the Sunnah is being taught, that is allowed to be publicly announced and proclaimed, no problem there. But because you don't like an individual or someone that that goes there or that teaches there, and because of that I'm going to warn others and do this, this is evil. This is evil. And this is rumour mongers. And these are people who are detractors, evil, wicked people that we've got to be aware of. And the narration says that the man, the standard does not enter paradise. So why would you want to be among the standards? So my advice to all of you, be in dua, insha'Allah Azza wa Jal. You are callers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're proclaiming the greatest grace, the greatest path that ever exists. Be very wary that you do not become amongst those who slander, amongst those who carry tales, correct or not correct, to people and start telling them what others said and what people are saying. Let it go. There's no need for it. Let your tongue always be pure. As the other hadith says, shall I not inform you of who are the best of people? He said, yes, Ya Rasulullah. Those who when they are together remind each other of Allah. Not of backbiting, not of cursing, not of whatever and however. No! Remind each other how to get close to Allah Ta'ala. Admonishing people, loving each other for the sake of Allah. This is what Islam is built on. So again, I warn you all, be very wary. There are a lot of individuals out there that will come, yarhamakallah, and try to fill your ears with garbage. Don't let it enter. Don't let it enter. Any negativity against any brother of yours or sister, don't allow it to enter your house. Don't allow it to enter your body. Say, stop there, please, I don't want to know about it. Whether it's about you or other people. Stop it. Stop the devil from allowing that messenger to hit you with that arrow. Tonight, inshallah ta'ala, we'll try to commit to these 2 points. Hopefully we can finish them. If not, there's no problem, because next week will be the last of the second stage of our studies, which is obviously the attributes of Ahlas wal Jammah. We've got 2 more lessons, inshallah, which is this week and next week. And then hence after that, we'll commit to the 3rd stage. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you all to be beacons for the community around you. As you can see, the 7th attribute is Ahlas wal Jama'ah assemble all textual proofs regarding any matter under consideration. Now, one of the most important things that distinguishes Ahlas wal Jama'ah from everyone besides them is the methodology. This is very important. The methodology of which, or with which they derive their sciences of their deen. From where they derive the sources that they derive from, their acts of worship and their Aqidah. And according to them, there are 4 sources in Islam. Not 5, not 6, not 7, only 4. The Quran, the authentic Sunnah, the Ijma' and the Qiyas. These and only these are the 4 sources of legislation. In other words, let us say a matter comes to a Muslim. What's their duty? Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah first look in the Quran regarding the matter concerned, in consideration. If they find it in the Quran, then no problem, the job is done. But if they do not, they go to the authentic Sunnah. If they find it in there, alhamdulillah. If they do not, where did I go, Ya Mustafa? To the Ijma'. They don't find it in the Ijma', where did I go? They may make what's called Qiyas. We're going to look at this, inshallah ta'ala, thoroughly by the end of this lesson. Now this sequence is shown by the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and was taught by Muhammad sallallahu to his companions in particular, but to us in general. As Allah mentions in the Quran, in Surah An-Nisa, verse 59, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْكُمْ فَإِنْ تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ. O you who believe, obey Allah, the Quran. Obey His Messenger, the Sunnah. And obey those who have been charged with authority among you, the Ijma'. Now, Imam al-Shafi'i was asked to prove Ijma' from the Quran. So he mentions the beautiful verse 115 on the Nisa, saying, وَمَنْ يُشَاكِكَ الرَّسُولَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. Whosoever opposes Rasulullah after clear guidance has come to him, and he takes evidence, he takes a path other than that of the believers, he will be left in the path that he himself has chosen, and will be thrown into hellfire. And what an evil destination that is. So Shafi'i said, وَمَنْ يَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and whoever takes a path other than the path of the believers, he said, this is Ijma'. Evidence for what? Ijma'. Now what is Ijma'? You might want to write this down. Ijma', we know the Quran, we know the Sunnah, we've got no problem there. What do we? Every single one of us here affirms that the Quran indefinitely is our first source of legislation. Hence, the authentic Sunnah, no one disagrees that it is the second source of legislation. And I repeat, authentic Sunnah. Number 3, this is the proof that it is a source of legislation as well. What is Ijma'? Ijma' is a unanimous agreement. Ijma' is a unanimous agreement amongst the scholars of this ummah. Amongst the scholars of this ummah. After the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, concerning a matter at any particular time. Concerning a matter at any particular time. You want me to repeat it? Ijma' is a unanimous agreement amongst the scholars of this ummah after the death of Rasulullah sallam concerning a matter at any particular time. That's Ijma'. Now, if there is Ijma' amongst the scholars, if there is, this constitutes to Sharia law. It's a legislation. It's not a matter of choice whether I want to or do not want. Once there is concrete, accurate Ijma' from amongst the scholars, it is binding upon every single one of us. Whether we accept it or not, we have to, as believers. وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, the ayah. وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْكُمْ, the ayah, and many other evidences in the Sunnah. It becomes an obligated, a legislated act that must be fulfilled. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not allow this ummah to unite upon misguidance. And there is an authentic narration to clarify this, the hadith says. The narration collected by At-Tirmidhi with a transmission that is like light, authentic. That Abdullah ibn Umar said, that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Allah will not cause this ummah to unite upon misguidance. Allah will not cause this ummah to unite upon error, deviation, misguidance. This is Ijma' in reality. Now, an example of Ijma'. You got the consensus of the scholars in the prohibition of building churches in Muslim lands. For example, let us say a land was conquered. Hence, it's under Sharia law. The Amir is not allowed. There's a consensus, there's an ijma', a consensus in this amongst all the scholars, that you are not allowed to build a new church or any other place of worship other than masajid in that land. It is haram in Islam. As Sheikh al-Islam mentions this ijma'. Did you get that? One example of ijma' amongst the scholars is that no new place of worship is allowed to be built in a land that is governed by Islam. And there's an ijma' on that. Another ijma' is the consensus of the scholars that you are not allowed to play the role of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You can't impersonate him. You can't act his role, saying, this is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you know, for example, what I'm trying to say here is, you can't do a movie or any cartoons or anything, mind you, and saying, this is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like the Christians do with Jesus alayhi salam. Supposedly. This is haram in Islam, and there's an ijma' on that amongst the scholars. Likewise, every other prophet, not only Muhammad, every prophet in Islam, you are not allowed to impersonate or take an active position that this is him. Now I must stop it.
Is there ijma' on Sahaba? Can't fight Sahaba.
You can't what?
On the Sahaba?
Good question. It doesn't have to be only the Sahaba. The ijma' of the Sahaba is the highest degree, if there's an ijma' from them. But ijma' is not restricted only to the Sahaba. It could be during their time, during the tabi'een or atba' tabi'een. This is the real era, the time of ijma' in reality. But can there be after that? It is very hard to combine the scholars of the world of Ahlas Sunnah wal Jammah and have an ijma' in a particular time or day. After the righteous generations I'm talking about. Is it possible? Yes, it is. It is possible, but very, very difficult due to the people being everywhere and the diversity and the disunity that exists therein in the Ummah today. But if, I repeat, and there are many ijma' examples, if you look at the fiqh books, you find many of them in the early days, many examples of ijma'. So what does ijma' mean again? It's a unified scholarly sort of assembly. They get together, they forward the matter of discussion, and they come to a result, and that result becomes law. Do you understand that? It's a consensus amongst the scholars. So do you understand ijma'? Now there's no reason for you to go too deep into it because you will never do ijma'. But to understand it, the meaning and how it works. And it is the third source of legislation. Number 4, which is qiyas. Now what is qiyas? This is a bit more difficult, so listen carefully. We're going to have a few examples, inshallah, and I'm going to have one of you come out and give us an example and adopt the method I'm going to give you on the board to see if you have understood it. Here you go. Oh, very few. Listen carefully. What's qiyas? Qiyas seeks to extend. Qiyas seeks to extend the same textual ruling to a novel issue, which is a new matter, to a novel issue that is not directly mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah. I'll repeat it. Qiyas qiyas seeks to extend the same textual ruling to a novel issue, a new case, a new matter that is not directly mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah. That's qiyas. You want me to paraphrase this, give you another way? It's more explained? I'll give you another explanation, another definition if you like. Technically, qiyas, if you want to write this down, make it easier for yourself, you can write it down. Technically, qiyas is giving a ruling to a new matter that is not mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah, the same ruling from a matter that is mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah, on the basis of some common denominator or common factor that they both share. Is that easier? In the first one? You want me to repeat that? You got confused? Okay. But definition is very important to understand it, and I don't want you guys leaving it tonight unless you've thoroughly understood it. And I'll be choosing someone. Are we choosing someone, inshallah? I don't know who it is yet. There you go. Where he will be giving us the example, inshallah ta'ala. I'll repeat the same definition as I did then. Technically, qiyas is giving a ruling to a new issue, a novel issue that is not mentioned directly in the Quran and Sunnah. See, this is the area here where you got to understand. A matter that is novel, it is new, but it is not mentioned where? In the Quran and Sunnah. Giving a ruling to that, to the same ruling, now we go here, the same ruling from a matter that is mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah. You will be so far? On the basis of some common denominator, common factor that brings them together. That's qiyas. Is it getting better, easier to understand? Okay. For qiyas, there are 4 essential components. Who's a good handwriter? Is that you, Mustafa? Skinny? He was too skinny. Are you a good handwriter, Skinny? Come here, Ashraf. Put down, qiyas has 4 essential components. This will make it easier for you to understand. Qiyas has 4 essential components. Sure? See how big it is? Yeah, beautiful. Has 4 essential components. Number 1, Al-Asl, A-L, line, A-S-L. Al-Asl, what does Asl mean? The basic case. Put down, the basic case, or the basic issue. The basic issue. Which is the original or principal text. Which is the original or principal, or put the original text only. The original text. See, as you can see here, that's the first component in qiyas, which is the asl, the basic issue. This is the original text that we're going to work from. This is directly mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah. It's mentioned. We have proof for this one. Without this, you cannot do qiyas. This is the principal text, the main. This is the core for what allows you to do the qiyas from. You understand? Number 2, al-fara', A-O, line, F-A-R-A, whatever. Put a line on top of the A. Al-fara', which is the novel issue. The novel issue. Issue. What do you guys say? Where do you put down novel, put in brackets new? This is not mentioned in the Quran or Sunnah. There's no direct mentioning. And for this, we are doing the qiyas for. And we're going to understand it later on. I'm going to give you a tree, example of a tree. And you understand it even better. So this is going to be based on the ruling of that. You understand? This is not mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah. Component number 3 is al-illah. A-O-I-L-L-A. Al-illah, which is the common factor. The common factor. You can write that, John. The common factor or the common denominator. Now, because of this, qiyas can be made. Because of what? This. What's this? It is the illah, the reason. The common factor that brings them together. Now, without this cannot be made. This will not be used because there's nothing to be used for. So this is the most important part of qiyas. That there's something that brings them together, allowing the qiyas to be made. Number 4, al-hukm. Al-hukm. Very good. The ruling. The ruling. The ruling. Now, the ruling is given to the faraq, the new one, based on the asl. Are you all with me? Because of the illah that they both share. I repeat. The ruling for the new matter is given to al-faraq, which is the novel issue, based on the asl, the original text, due to them sharing a common denominator, a common thing, factor. Are you all with me? Skinny, you look like you're not even with me at all. You need an interpreter? Do you want me to get you someone that can interpret? You sure? Are we understanding so far? Is there any problem still or not? Okay. A bit still tough? Okay. Is that written down so far? Want to take a photo, maybe? No, no. Don't finish it. Tell me if you don't understand. Who doesn't understand it? Really, like, seriously. So far, you know the best way to understand things? Who can tell me the best way?
Ask him.
Examples. You raise it all. I'll give you a better sort of way to understand it. Sorry? The components. That's what it consists of. They're the elements that it's needed for you to even do qiyas. They're the 4 elements that's needed. You get a better clarification now. So I'll give you a better way of understanding it. Okay. Let us think of an example today. We all know that today there's a pandemic out there with ICE. I-C-E, correct? I should have put ICE there. New issue, the novel issue. Put down al-faraq first, al-faraq. Al-faraq, Let us not go there. Let us not go to the yellow stuff. When we talk about fiqh, we can talk about that area. The novel issue. Put down ICE in big word. This. Now we all know that ICE is a recent development. It did not exist in the days of golden revelation. Did it? No. There's no ice, nor cocaine, nor heroin, mind you, or anything like that, cannabis, or any of that kind of evil toxins existing in the days of Muhammad, but there was something similar to it. Khamar. We don't have an Arab look at him. He just said the word khamar. Allahu Akbar. South African style. Huh? Khamar. So we have a novel issue. What is it? Ice. It didn't exist. So how do we today say it's haram? Based on what? Listen, this is qiyas. This is how qiyas works. Listen carefully and watch. Tafadhal. Put down, rub this off, so it makes it more easier to see. Put down here al-asl. You know, exactly big words. Asl. Okay. Put down 2 dots. Put down khamr. Very good. Very good. Put down rolling underneath this. Try to connect it as much as you can to water.
Should we rub the ice out? The ice part out, Sheikh?
Sorry?
The ice part, should we rub it out?
Yes. Write down what's going to be mentioned now. Put down haram. Put down haram. Okay. Put down here, Ashraf. Al-Fara'. This is how you do qiyas. With every qiyas issue, this is the conclusion. Put down ruling. Now you can tell me the rule on cocaine or ice.
Yeah.
Now you have to have proof from the Quran and Sunnah if you're going to say it immediately. Unknown. To this, we don't know it. Watch carefully how we do qiyas. You've probably never seen this in your lives. So it's always good to see for the first time and learn. Unknown. Okay, number 3. Put down illah. What's illah, brothers and sisters? Common factor, that which brings them together, they both share, correct? What's the common denominator? Who can tell me? Better word? Intoxication. Put down the illah dot, intoxication. They both share what? Intoxication. So have we got a common denominator between them? We sure do. We sure do.
We're still talking about ice here.
Yeah. Put down hukm. This is Hakim. Yeah, right before. You're doing good, yeah, Ashraf. You're doing well. Put dot. What's the hukm for khamr?
Haram.
Put down big words haram. That's the conclusion. Don't forget who said that after the lesson, inshallah. I've got a meeting with him. Now look at this. This is the trick. Is it easier like that to understand? Okay. What's the asl, the original text that's mentioned in the Quran Sunnah? Khamr. Qaliluhu wa kathiruhu. The little and the lot. They're both haram. Correct? Okay. A new case that we have today, you got ice, cocaine. You should put down here ice, if you can please, Ashraf. Ice, cocaine, heroin, meth, cannabis, whatever. It's all the same. Anything that intoxicates, veils the mind, can go here. Because why? Because they both share this intoxication. But the ruling so far is unknown. But because of this, the illah, the common factor that they both share, this is the result. This is what? The result. So, the asl, haram, gives the fara', the new issue, the ruling. Why? Because of the common denominator that they both share. That's qiyas. Is that bit more easier to understand? Skinny, are you sure you understand it?
Another issue, the sale of steroids or cigarettes. Get off the cigarettes. Get off. Wow. I heard it's had it. Anyway, So what's the common denominator there?
Well, cigarettes
Yeah.
is not an intoxicant, so you can't put it here.
Yeah.
See how it works?
Yeah.
Cigarettes does not intoxicate you.
Yeah.
You're still conscious, you're coherent, you're aware of things. But it's a very, very bad thing for you. It harms you. And there is so much evidence directly from the Quran regarding harming your body that cigarettes can fall under. So there's no need to have qiyas for it. There's no need. Because there's so much evidence for those who are true believers. Not true desirers, true believers. Naam ya Ali.
Yeah, the ruling, the hukm, sorry, you've got haram. But we want to know what's the punishment. I thought that the ruling would be the punishment.
We haven't got a direct punishment for it. A direct.
Okay.
But because khamr is not allowed, although there's not a stipulated sort of punishment for it, we can't say we have to know the punishment for it. There are many acts that you are not allowed to do that has no direct.
I meant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's what I meant, not from the...
I understand exactly what you're saying. But there's not every sin has a punishment.
Okay.
You with me? That's mentioned. It's a sin. But is every sin mentioned or constitutes a certain punishment? No. You're eligible for punishment, but what is it? Not every sin tells us. You understand? Now, yeah.
Arbitrations and that, would you use the same rulings?
Arbitrations.
Yeah, like anything. To rule on a business transaction that went sour. To rule on a wife and a husband, is that? No?
For example, if you're going to look at arbitrations regarding a wife and a husband to reconcile between the two, that's mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah directly. It mentions in Surah Al-Baqarah what you do in that circumstance. You get the family members from this side, from that side, they get together, as the Quran says, and they reconcile. If there's room for reconciliation. Otherwise, depart in that which is good. And that's the Quran directly mentioned. If it's directly mentioned, Justini, there's no need for this.
And business transaction, same thing?
Likewise, again, the same scenario. Don't forget, what we say about the Farah, the new case, the novel.
Yeah.
It cannot be mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah as a new thing. Do you understand this? Are you all with me?
Yes, sort of.
Huh?
No,
No, Mustafa.
Sheikh, let's say, Sheikh, you had a hadith of the man that laid wudu over his head and he
Yes.
passed away.
Yes.
Can you use that as qiyas for, let's say, someone has a good body part in water can affect?
Very good. Very good. Ahsanallah alayk ya Mustafa. Come up here, will you? Come.
Can I take a photo, please?
Go for it. See how you can now use your intelligence? It's not hard, really isn't, once you understand it. Look, no one's expecting you to be scholars tonight. This was taught to us over years in the University of Medina. Not one session, oh, alhamdulillah, we're scholars. No, it may take time. Now, put down the wiping on top. Now, erase before you do that, erase only the concerned parts from every angle.
So what's the new matter now? Sorry,
Inshallah, we'll get to it, inshallah. Good example.
Okay, wiping.
Very good.
Because I was going to ask you similar one.
Very good. Okay. Sorry, Mustafa?
Like the two Sahaba that were holding the bag and one guy got shot and one got shot with the arrow and he continued up. So you're praying and you continue thinking about it.
That was that night for
That
now.
doesn't lose your wudu, do you, when you start completing the house?
Now here,
Definition?
completely different.
Okay.
Only because there is evidence for that. Directly from the Sunnah. And you just mentioned it now. That in itself is proof that you don't lose your wudu. Why is it proof that you don't lose your wudu?
Because it's obvious.
He would have been told. You lost your door. He wasn't told, was he?
No.
So it's from the Quran directly and the Sunnah. It's mentioned. Since it's been mentioned, there's no need for an analogy.
Sheikh, you told us one of the lessons was misrocking the toothbrush.
Good stuff, Ashraf. I like that one. Before we get to that one, Faddal, put the topic of discussion. Wiping. Put down wiping first of all. Yeah, put down wiping on whatever. Wiping on whatever, like the head cover, the socks, the bandage, because in the dunya you can wipe. Let us say you got, for example, a broken arm. That cast that they put on you. Can you wipe over that? You are allowed to wipe over it while you're under that state. Continue. What's the new issue? Okay. Oh, you said after he died. That's what you said. So put it after death, because during the life is a mention of that. Yes. So now he's talking about wiping over a part. For example, a person died due to a car accident. And you cannot wipe in a place where it's completely whatever. What do?
That's not matter because that's the signal. We know what the
It's too acceptable in this area. There's no specific narration that mentions it directly. Okay, what's the rule in here? Now let us say this is a new issue, which there is question, but I say it is. Okay? What's the rule in here? Permissible to wipe. Correct? Halal, in other words, to wipe. Not only is it halal, this is what you do. This is what you do. What do you do now? Before this? Unknown. Put that unknown. Okay. What is the common denominator between the two of them? Wiping. Why is it wiping here? Because it's got something that allows him to wipe. Likewise here, there really is that you cannot wash. And why are you wiping here? Because it allows him to wipe. Here you cannot wash. So what do? There's other evidences here without this one, from the wiping part of things, that there was a man that was told to wash in the Ma'rakah. And he said to him, had you asked the question, all you had to do was wipe. Do tayammum, for example. Now, Allah, he said. So there's evidence, better evidence for that, but it doesn't matter, we understand it. So it's unknown. The common denominator is that both areas are to be wiped due to a reason. You with me? Now. And it makes it halal. Hey, you ever stop? You look like you're... Do you understand it? I'll give you an example. Maybe it fits insurance. Wipe it, erase it for me. I want one of you to come up and do it.
He's got glasses on. He's got glasses on.
مثال example الحديد اللي بيلعب الحديد حلال حلال
طبعا حلال ولا مباح بالعكس يعني كمان مندوب
حلو باط في هذا باط الولاد
الله اكبر
ياخذ الإبر ياخذ الإبر بيضر نفسه
هذا في أحاديث عليها and there is narrations for that exempts it from the qiyas because ما في ضرر ولا لا ضرر ولا ضرار. There's no harm, no reciprocating harm. For whatever reason is a narration, you can't do qiyas. It's like cigarettes, exactly the same scenario. It falls تدخل تحت نفس المرتبة أنه لا يجوز لأنه في ضرر. Insurance. قوم يا مصطفى. Now this may give you a bit more insight of what insurance is haram. Put down al-asl. Who can tell me what the asl? MashaAllah, tabarakallah, it is correct. riba. Now you found that way. See how this works? It's really important. It really does help you to understand matters that may be a bit cloudy to you.
الشيخ تجي على المقياس ولا تجي على الحرام؟
حرام. ملكيات تدخل حرام، مندوب، واجب، كلها.
بتلف عليها.
كلها الأحكام الشرعية الخمسة. Now, ruling unknown. Put down insurance. Are you all with me?
Smaller, Mustafa, smaller.
What about if you make sure that something happens in your life?
That's correct. 100% right. 100%. Okay, insurance is unknown to this state, correct? Someone comes to you and says, no, insurance is this and that, let us work it out here. Okay, why, okay, the common denominator, why do we say riba has a connection to insurance? Skinny.
Would you pay up front for something you haven't got?
No.
No?
That becomes a business transaction, it's something else.
It's the amount you pay and what you're going to claim, or you might not claim.
It's the capital given. What's insurance in reality? The essence of insurance. To go beyond or below the capital. Example. I give Mustafa $100 this week and say, look, I'm going to lend it to you. But in 2 weeks, I want $101. On $100, what was the capital? What has become? Riba, beyond the capital. You with me? Or it could be below the capital. I could say, no problem, just give me $99. I'm not allowed to do that.
What about
I'm not allowed to do that.
what about if you give extra by yourself? Is that
Can't.
right?
You cannot.
Why, from your own self?
Let us not get too far with riba. We're not talking about riba. We'll get to that answer and you understand inshallah. But, so why is insurance the same with riba? Because, let us say you pay yearly $100 for your insurance. Whether it's house, health, car, whatever it may be. That which is voluntary, an option, that you don't have to do it. We're not talking about the what's it called, CCT, the compulsory stick. We're not talking about that. That's out of your hands. It's a dire necessity, you have to have it, otherwise you can't live. We're talking about that which you have an option for. Insurance is built on riba 100%. You give $100 this year for your car. You have an accident. That accident costs $10,000, let us say. You've only given, say, $1,000 so far. You are not allowed to go beyond that $1,000. That 9,000 extra is a riba. It's unjust for you. It's haram for you. So the common denominator between the two of them is that riba, insurance is based predominantly on riba. So here the illah is riba, which they both share. And since riba is haram, that's haram. Ahlan bil car dealers, ahlan bil car studio signs, you're going to see circles on top of you. Stars gone never. He's going to knock himself out soon.
What about if you hit a car? I'm asking a question.
There are exemptions amongst the scholars. Yeah, Isa, before you go too far, there are exemptions that scholars may put in place. May. We're talking about just the original sort of the foundation of the matter. Don't go into any avenues or channels here.
No, Sheikh, he's talking about, for example, compulsory, like not compulsory, so like, what's that, third party?
The third party?
Yeah, that's not compulsory.
All I'm saying, Sheikh,
That's haram, isn't it?
Haram. Anything optional. Fadda Jalisa.
No, all I'm saying is, say for example, it's happened a few times and you can't afford to pay.
لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها.
Yeah, but you cleaned up his car.
لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها.
It's a Lamborghini.
What about
لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. You can't pay, you don't pay. You can pay, you give you $20 a fortnight. What's the problem?
what?
We're making something that is haram halal by our philosophy. That's philosophizing here. Alhamdulillah, I've been driving for 32 years. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I've never had an accident.
Have you had a Ferrari?
No. When you hit one.
And if you do, okay, alhamdulillah. Judge it according to that matter at that time.
That also goes for, but the Ferrari is insured. 100% it's insured.
Everything. Brothers, sisters, understand this. I'm not saying this. Brothers, I'm not saying this. This is not my opinion. Meaning, I'm not the one who legislated this. These are the scholars. They use this. So don't think it's from me. It's not from me. This is from the scholarly opinion. Especially Sheikh Al-Uthaymeen was very harsh.
You just judge it at that time.
You judge it at that time. I know, for example, a brother just recently, he hit a very expensive car. I think he had about $20-something thousand. He's able to pay fortnightly, whatever. 25, 30, 100, because you're paying to the insurance company. Their company pays to the person that is there, whatever.
But the insurance company have the habit of charging you 100-fold.
No, they can't do that.
Oh, they can't. Oh, they do.
But in the sense where they can make it more than what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's judged according to. We're not going into these discussions. That's intricate, detailed areas. I'm talking about the essence of the matter. You know, areas where it's deep, you can talk about it in areas where it's needed. Areas where it's needed. You with me? So, khamr is haram. I can sit down and talk about when it's halal. If it's halal. Why it's halal? I can talk about day and night. But the essence of the matter, it's haram. You understand where I'm coming from? Every matter has exemptions. And Allah has allowed it because Islam is easy. There's always ways out. Some scholars said, for example, if a person owns for example, a courier company or a transport company where it involves semi-trailers and what have you, trucks and this and that, and there are hundreds or tens of trucks involved. And this is a major business. Life and death, if it's not existing, for example. Scholars said in this area, scholars have said this, that insurance here is allowed. Because of the magnitude of what could occur if a problem did occur. You understand what I'm saying here? There are exemptions.
That's the asal and the other.
The original principle is it's haram. Is there any exemptions? Again, there are. Now, but don't go taking this lightly and say, Wallah, I'm exempted. You know, al-baytul ula halal. The first house is acceptable, for example. No, it's not. No, it's not. It is haram. And you're waging a war of Allah if you do it. No matter who said it.